Steelers defense versus Titans offense.
Because we want to go offense first, but I know you're a big offensive guy, man. So yeah.
You want to start?
No. I figured I can go first. I was gonna let you drop it first.
All right, key one.
Okay. Oh, I like this guy, dog. Deke taking charge. Key one. All right.
All caps in bold here. Keeping Henry in check. This is probably the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
And I'll be straight up with you. I think we are going to do this. And I'm saying this humbly because I know Derrick Henry, he's probably the best running back in the league right now. Let's be real.
Okay.
You don't think?
I just said okay. You are big on crowning people. I'm not.
Who are you putting in?
I'm just saying, I'm not about to crown a guy like that. Like
Barkley's hurt. Zeke's not playing as well.
That's my question. Why does it always just have to be somebody though? Like why? That's what I don't understand. Why?
I'm saying right now, it might change next week.
Exactly. So how can he be the number one guy if it could change in a week?
He's number one right now going into week 6. I mean, he just had over 200 yards last game.
Okay.
He's leading the league. I think he has over 500, something like that. So, yeah, we got to keep him in check. Let's be real. He's like the main key for their offense. He makes it go. Tannehill has been playing good. I'm going to give him my respects because he has been playing really well this year. He had a clutch drive at the end of the last game.
Not just last game. You watched that Vikings game.
Listen.
Ooh, they were down 3 scores. And he got the cooking.
He's been doing good. So why I think we could keep him in check, though. I think we are going to keep him in check. That's the key, but I think we will accomplish it. If you look at his game logs, 3-7 against Denver in terms of yards per carry, 3-4 against Jaguars, 4-6 against Vikings, good game there, 3-0 against Bills, then obviously completely went off against the Texans.
But even in that Texans game, you have to remember 94 of those yards came on one run.
I was going to say that. I don't want to make that sound bad.
No, well, I was going to see if you were because the same people, like for me, I don't have an issue with that because I say it with everyone.
He had a good game. He had a really good game last week.
The only reason I say like some people don't is because in particular when it comes to Steelers, we've seen when we talked about early on in the season with James Conner, right? He had it was the long run where that's what got him over the 100. People don't like that conversation like that. They want to just...
We talked about that.
I know we did, but I'm just saying not everybody, you know what I mean? They want to make it bigger than what it is at times. For me, I'm like 94, that came on one run. That changes a lot, man.
But Henry having that run, that gets blown up in the media because he's done that a few times. That's like a vintage Henry run. You always want to see it.
Even though we talked about the Texans' run defense.
I was going to bring that up.
We talked about it, and it showed in a big way on that particular run.
Terrible run defense.
Two guys. Zach Cunningham is unblocked by himself. He peeks backside for no reason, and then he just flat out whiffs. And then from there, you got the backside corner, I believe. Actually, it wasn't the corner. It was the backside safety, Justin Reed, Eric Reed's little brother. He's literally just takes a bad angle and gets outrun. I mean, it was that simple, man. But such is life, man.
So they're going to give him the ball a lot. I just think we're going to keep him in check. I don't know how many yards he's going to get. Will he maybe have 4 yards of carry? Is it going to be 30 attempts for 100 yards? Is it going to be maybe 25 attempts, maybe get 70 or 80? I just think we'll keep him in check. Our rush defense is too good. Everything they do kind of revolves around him in terms of the play action and just Tannehill being able to open up the offense because of Henry. So keeping him in check, that's kind of like my main key. I got another thing here, but I'll let you either play off that or give your second key, and then I'll...
So, friend, I'm not worried about Derrick Henry in terms of Henry himself. What I'm worried about, and I think in terms of why you feel the Steelers will be fine against the Titans in the run game, the reason being is this, man. When you look at the 3 interior D linemen that the Steelers are going to roll out with Tyson Alualu, Cam Hayward, and Stephon Tuitt, they're going to be matched up against, let's see who this is, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, and Roger Saffold III. I don't think that the Titans interior offensive linemen can hold up for 4 quarters against these Steelers interior D linemen. I think that when you watch what Cam, Tyson, and Tuitt have been able to do on tape through these first 5 games, they have dominated the interior line of scrimmage as it pertains to the run game. And that's why teams haven't had a lot of success. Even last week when Devin Bush went out, Spillane, even though people were still questioning, okay, can he get downhill and play like that? It was sometimes where he might have been just a second late on a read, but because Cam Hayward was dominating his guy, it didn't matter. And that's what you're seeing constantly. I mean, even when we broke down some of the tape on Vince Williams, we saw, even when you're talking about a tackle for loss by Vince, it's like, man, Tyson Alualu is killing this guy, and that's why he has to cut back to where Vince is at. To me, that's the biggest part of this matchup. That's just gonna stop them from being able to run, because we know what Henry. he's kind of like a warship, right? If he's going straight, he's a problem, but he's not lateral. He doesn't have start and stop. He doesn't give you that. And with Derrick Henry, man, if he can get the ball and go downhill, that's where he's his best. When he has to stop his feet and have to redirect and start and stop over and over again, he's nowhere near that type of back, nowhere near the same caliber back. But it starts up front. Those guys, the Titans have done a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. I don't think that they're going to be able to do that against these 3 interior D linemen. That to me is the biggest part for my first key.
You think their line ranking then is a little bit of a facade?
No, I didn't say that. Their line is really good.
I was going to say they have them ranked as like the first offensive line in the league.
Like, this is what you don't realize. Like, they dominate the line of scrimmage. It's not a debate. When the Titans are on the field, they are just road grading teams off the ball. They are legit. They're good as advertised. I just think that our guys are better.
It's kind of like the Browns then. Their strength is the run, but they haven't faced us yet.
Right. It's not a knock on them. And by saying, are they overrated? Not at all. I just think that our D-line is that good. It's kind of like the Cam Hayward versus Quentin Nelson conversation. When Cam dominated Quentin, or not dominated, but when he had some really good plays against Quentin, it was, oh man, maybe Quentin isn't as good as advertised. No, Quentin is the best guard in the NFL right now. And that's no disrespect to anybody out there, but Quentin is that. He's like that. But the thing is, Cam Hayward is a top-notch all-pro for a reason. There's a reason he's that good, and he shows that. So it's not a knock on the Titans as a whole. Obviously, the Titans lost a key player in Taylor Lewan, their all-world left tackle. He goes out with an ACL. That kills you. But they still have a really, really good unit. I just think that the way our D-line is, and now that they're fully healthy playing together, they are a nightmare for teams. And to do it for 4 quarters, I just don't think the Titans offensive line can do that. And that's why I'm not as concerned about Derrick Henry as I feel like from a national standpoint, people are.
Well, dude, yeah, he's coming off that crazy game. And I pointed to those stats. Mm-hmm. Denver kept him in check, 3.7 yards per carry. Jaguars, 3.4. Vikings at a 4.6. Still a good game. Bills at a 3.0.
I do like how you pull up yards per game as your big and not... Was he over the 100-yard mark in these games?
Well, that's
because he was over the 100. Like, that's the thing. It's like, that's why I always get on you when we talk stats. I'm like, bro, we could pick and choose which stat. Because right now, I mean, I think for the season, his average is right at around what I want to say it was at 4.8 one time I saw.
Oh, man, dude. Well, that 9.6 last week really messed it up. I don't know where it's at.
But to me, I'm just like, he's not on a per basis. He's not doing it like that. It's more so about a war of attrition. He's getting the ball. I mean, the least amount of touches he had was the blowout against the Bills, and that was because the game got out of hand due to turnovers. He ended up with 15 carries. Man, but other than that, he's averaging 25, 27, 31, just runs, not screen passes, just runs. That is a lot. The Steelers, this is my biggest thing with them. We haven't faced the team that's as committed to the run as the Titans. The Browns last week, they abandoned the run 2 series in the game. Once Baker threw that pick 6 and we scored again on offense and they went down 2 scores, they weren't trying to run the ball. And from there, we know that's not what they do in terms of having to drop back and throw the ball. So the game went as we would expect. The Titans, they aren't going to abandon their running game. Even when they were down, like I said, big to the Vikings, they still stuck with the run. And then from there, they were able to hit some throws downfield. But that's going to be the biggest test, man, in terms of when a team fully commits to running the ball, can they do it for 4 quarters? I personally, like I said, don't think their offensive line is going to allow them to, because I think our D-line for 4 quarters is just going to be better than those guys. So that's why that's my first key, man, in terms of just that matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.